So once upon a time, the story of Nabila, a story told to me by Credo Mutwa. Credo Mutwa is an African shaman. He's a grand Sangoma. Sangoma is the African word for shaman, or what used to be irreverently called a witch doctor, which we no longer call. But he's a great shaman, and he holds the stories of all the African tribes. He's a Zulu himself, and the Zulus come from the land of mines, or Zambia, which is where I was born in Africa. And he told me this beautiful story, this beautiful mythology as a teaching, and I wanted to share that teaching briefly. So Nabila was a powerful shaman in her own right, very, very powerful, and she had a beautiful son, and they were traveling through the country, and they came to a large township where the people were suffering. They were dying. They were dying of starvation. There was a great drought. There was great environmental disturbances. And Nabila came, or felt, to travel toward this town. And when she arrived, the town folk were very scared of her and tried to chase her off and threw stones at her and sticks at her. And inadvertently, they actually killed her son. And Nabila still stayed. She set up on the outskirts of town, and eventually the people were in so much suffering, their children were going to die of thirst and starvation and great, the environment they had embraced more modern agricultural practices, and they'd lost the old ways. They'd forgotten how to hunt, they'd forgotten how to contact Mother Earth, they'd forgotten how to dowse for water, they'd forgotten how to sing and pray for the rains to come. So they asked Nabila, eventually they got so frightened they went back out and they said, look, we know we've terribly wronged you when we've killed your only child, but would you please help us? And Nabila, being of such great heart, she said, of course I will help you. You are my brothers and my sisters. What do you need? And they said, well, we're starving and we're thirsty, and we're in a lot of trouble. So she showed them the old ways. She showed them how to track animals. She showed them how to find water in the ground. She showed them how to sing and dance for the rains. She showed them how to collect wild foods instead of relying on agriculture. And after not very long a time, she was actually able to bring this suffering town, this suffering people, back from the brink of their own extinction. And after that, of course, they then honoured Nabila. They realised the worth of the ancient knowledge that she carried. And what this mythology has to offer us, what it has to teach us, what is the moral of the story, is that the old ways, the ways of the traditional elders, the Australian traditional elders, the African traditional elders, these ancient peoples who are deeply connected with the earth, what they have to offer us are ways of bringing ourselves back from the brink of environmental catastrophe as we are. And what that is, sorry, Nabila, the bit that I'd forgotten, Nabila negotiated with them on one stage. She said, yes, I'll help you, but only if you begin to re-honour the mother. If you remember to honour the mother, sing her songs and look after her. And of course, Nabila represents Mother Earth. And the killing of her son represents the environmental damage that we've done. And although we did this to Nabila, although this tribe did this to Nabila and killed her son, she still had forgiveness in her heart to help the people, like Mother Earth does. She'll never give up on us. We are her children. And if we begin to respect her and love her, she will nurture us all back into health and back into love.